Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Sisir Sir and I am Sisir Kumar Sahu. Today we will study about whole numbers. Let's start the class. All of you know numbers play an important role in our life. We use number in our day-to-day life to count things. So which numbers are we use to count things are called natural numbers. So all counting numbers are called natural numbers and it is denoted by capital letter N, and that is N for start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ... so on. The first and smallest natural number is 1. So 1 is the smallest natural number and there is no last or greatest natural number. So we can define greatest or largest natural number. Then we will know whole number. All natural numbers together with 0 are called whole number. And it is denoted by capital letter W, and that is W for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ... so on. The number 0 is the first and smallest whole number. So 0 is the smallest whole number and there is no last or greatest whole number. So like natural number we can define last or greatest whole number. All natural numbers are whole number, but all whole number are not natural number, because whole number together with all natural number together with 0 and natural number start from 1, 2, 3, 4, but in whole number start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so on. So 0 is including in whole number, but 0 is not present in natural number. So all natural numbers are whole number, but all whole number are not natural number. Next we will know successor of a whole number. The successor of a whole number is the number obtained by adding to it or after 1. This is how we will take some examples. We will take a whole number, suppose 5. What will be its successor? When we add 1 or after 1 will be its successor. So 6 is the successor of 5. We will take another whole number 6. What will be its successor? When we will add 1 or its next number or after 1, that means 7 is the successor of 6. When we will take 65, what will be its successor? We will add 1 or after 1. So 65 plus 1, 66. When we will take 99 is a whole number, and what will be successor? 100. 100 is the successor of 99. When we will take 999, what will be its successor? 1000. So any given whole number, when we will add 1 or after 1 will be successor of that whole number. Next we will know predecessor of a whole number. The predecessor of a whole number is one less than the given number or before 1. So when we will take any whole number, it's before 1, or when we will subtract 1, then we will get predecessor of that whole number. So when we will take suppose 5, what will be its predecessor? We will subtract 1 or before 1. So 4 is the predecessor of 5. When we will take 10, what will be its predecessor? We will subtract 1 or its before 1 is the predecessor. That means 9. 9 is the predecessor of 10. And when we will take 199, its predecessor will be subtract 1 or 198. And when we will take 1000, what will be its predecessor? We will subtract 1 or its before 1 will be predecessor. That means 999. So in this type if any given whole number, then when we subtract one or before one will be predecessor of that whole number. Next, we'll know whole number on number line. To represent whole numbers on a line called number line, and first we draw a straight line and mark a point 0 on it. So first we will draw a straight line. It is a straight line. Its two sides can extend endlessly and mark a point 0 on it. So this one is a 0. Suppose this one is the 0 and suppose it is a straight line. And then starting from 0, mark some points on the line at equal distances to the right of 0. So we'll one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I mark some equal distance 1, 2, 3, 4 and place also and named also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here it is clear that every whole number on the number line increasing in order from left to right. So from left to right means left 0, then next number is the 1, next 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is increasing in order left to right, and 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all are whole number. So here 0 is the smallest whole number and largest whole number we can define, and it is a number line of whole number. Next we will know properties of addition in whole number. First we will know closure property. The sum of any two whole numbers is a whole number. For that we will take some examples. Look at these examples. Suppose 5, 8 are two whole number and its sum 5 plus 8 is equal to 13 is a whole number. 13 plus 6, 13 and 6 are two whole number. Sum of both whole number is equal to 19. 19 is a whole number. Next, 30 plus 20. 30 and 20 are two whole number. When we add 30 plus 20, 50 is a whole number. So sum of any two whole numbers is a always whole number, because 30, 50, 19 also whole number. Next we will know commutative property. The sum of two whole numbers remains the same even if the order of a whole numbers is changed. That means 5 plus 8 is equal to 8 plus 5. 5 plus 8 is equal to 13 and 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. Again, we will take another example. 20 plus 30 is equal to 30 plus 20. 20 plus 30 is equal to 50 and 30 plus 20 is equal to 50. So sum of two whole numbers remains the same even if the order of a whole numbers is changed. So both results remain same. So when we change its order, then results remain same. Next we will know associative property of addition. If A, B, C are any three whole numbers, then A plus B whole plus C is equal to A plus whole B plus C. First we will take A, B, C are three whole numbers. Suppose A is equal to 3, B is equal to 5, C is equal to 8. So according to this property, A plus B whole plus C, that means 3 plus 5 whole plus 8 is equal to a plus whole b plus c will change. That means a is equal to 3 plus b plus c means 5 plus 8 will change. Both answer is same or differ. So 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 is 16. First LHS answer is 16 and RHS answer 3. 5 plus 8 is 13 plus 3 is 16. So both LHS is equal to RHS. So when we will take any three whole numbers A, B, C, or then A plus B whole plus C is equal to A plus whole B plus C. Next we will know additive identity of a whole number. For any whole number A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. Since any whole number add with 0 or 0 with any whole number, the result remain itself. So when we will take any whole number, suppose 5, and we will add 0 is equal to 5, or 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Again we will take another example. 30 plus 0 is equal to 30, or 0 plus 30 also 30. Next we will take another example. 99 plus 0 is equal to 99, or 0 plus 99 also 99. So when we will add a whole number with 0 or 0 with a whole number, then always the result remain itself. So 0 is called additive identity of a whole number. Next we will know properties of a subtraction in whole number. First we will know closure property. If A and B are two whole numbers such that A greater B greater 0, then A minus B is a whole number, otherwise subtraction is not possible in whole numbers. For that we will take an example. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3. Here A greater B greater 0. So A is greater than B and also both are greater than 0. Then A minus B, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, and 2 is a whole number. And when we take B greater A, that means when we take, suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 8. Here 5 minus 8 is equal to, is not a whole number. So when we take A and B are two whole numbers such that A greater B greater 0, so both the whole number A greater B greater 0, then A minus B is a whole number. Otherwise, if B greater A or greater 0, then is not possible in whole numbers. Next, we will know commutative property. For any two whole numbers A and B, then A minus B is not equal to B minus A. We will take two whole number. Suppose A is equal to 12, B is equal to 8. Here A minus B, 12 minus 8, and 80 B minus A. 80 minus 12 is not possible. So 12 minus 8 is equal to 4, and 8 minus 12. So we can subtract 12 from 8. So any two whole numbers A and B, then A minus B is not equal to B minus A. Next, we will know associative property. For any three numbers or any three whole numbers A, B, C, then A minus B minus C is not equal to A minus B minus C. So we will take three whole numbers. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3, C is equal to 6, or C is equal to 2. Here A minus B minus C. A minus B means five minus 3 whole minus C is equal to 2, and here on the RHS side A means 5 whole into B minus 3, B means A minus B means 3 minus 2. Here 5 minus 3. Here answer will be 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. And here answer is 5. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So both are not equal. So when we take any three whole number A, B, C, then A minus B whole minus C is not equal to A minus whole B minus C. And subtraction of whole numbers is not associated. And the subtraction of any, suppose subtraction of commutative also not satisfied, and a closure property also not satisfied on subtraction. Now we will know properties of a multiplication in whole number. First we will know closure property of multiplication. For any two whole numbers A and B, their product, that means A multiply B is always a whole number. For that we will take some examples. Look at this example. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3. So their product will be 5 into 3 is equal to 15 is a whole number. Again we will take another example. Suppose A is equal to 12, B is equal to 6. So their product will be 12 into 6 is equal to 72 is a whole number. So when we will multiply two whole number and their product always a whole number. Next we will know commutative property of multiplication. For any two whole numbers A and B, then their product means A multiply B always equal to B multiply A. Here order of multiplication is not important. So we will check. Suppose I have taken two numbers, two whole number, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3. So first we will multiply A into B, that means 5 into 3 is equal to 15. Again we will check B into A, B multiply A, that means 3 into 5 is equal to 15. So here LHS is equal to RHS, that means A multiply B is equal to B multiply A. Again we will take another example. Suppose A is equal to 7, B is equal to 6. So A multiply B will be 7 into 6 is equal to 42. Again B multiplies A is equal to 6 into 7 is equal to 32. So LHS is equal to RHS. So for any two whole numbers A and B, then their product A multiply B is equal to B multiply A. Next we will know associative property of multiplication. For any three whole numbers A, B and C, then A multiply B whole into C is equal to A multiply whole into B multiply C. This means the product is regardless of how grouping is done. Now we will check. Suppose we will take A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3 and another C is 4. Then we will multiply, we will check LHS. A multiply B whole into C, that means 5 into 3 whole multiply into 4, it will be 5 into 3 15, 4 60. LHS is 60. Now we check RHS. A into, that means 5 into whole into B into C, 3 into 4, it will be 5 into 12 is equal to also 60. That means LHS is equal to RHS. So for any three whole numbers A, B, C, then A multiply B whole into C always equal to A multiply whole into B multiply C. Now we'll know multiplicative identity of multiplication. For any whole number, suppose A multiply 1 always equal to 1 multiply A is equal to A. Since any number multiplied by 1, result remains itself or does not change. So 1 is called multiplicative identity of a whole number. So any whole number we will take, suppose 5, and when we will multiply with 1, always result 5 or number itself. Or when we will multiply 1 with a whole number 5, also 5 or number itself. So when we will take another example, suppose 60, a whole number. When we will multiply 1, we will get 60. 99. When we will multiply 1, we will get 99. So when we will multiplied by 1 with any whole number or any whole number multiplied by 1, then result remain itself. So 1 is called multiplicative identity of a whole number. Next we will know multiplication by 0. For any whole number A multiply 0 is equal to 0 multiply A is equal to result is 0. Since any whole number multiplied by 0 or 0 multiplied any whole number, result will be remain always 0. For that we will take some example. Suppose 5 is a whole number. When we will multiply with 0 is equal to 0, or 0 into 5 is equal to always 0. We will take another example. 20 is a whole number. When we will multiply 20 into 0 is equal to 0, or 0 into 20 is 0. So any whole number when we multiplied by 0 or 0 multiplied any whole number, result will be always 0. Next we will know distributive property of multiplication over addition. This property is used when we have to multiply a whole number by the sum of two numbers. For any three whole numbers A, B and C, then A multiply whole B plus C is equal to A multiply B whole plus A multiply C. For that we have taken three numbers. I have taken three numbers. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 8 and C is equal to 3. Here we will prove LHS is equal to RHS or not. So LHS A multiply B plus C. So A here A is equal to 5 multiply then B plus C whole B plus C means C. 8 plus 3 is equal to 8 plus 3 11, 5 55. Again we will check RHS. A multiply B, that means 5 into 8 plus A multiply C 5 into 3 is equal to 40 plus 50 is equal to 55. Here LHS is equal to RHS proof. So A multiply B plus C whole is equal to A multiply B plus whole into A multiply C. Next we will know distributive property over subtraction. This property is used when we have to multiply a number by the subtract of two numbers. For any three numbers A, B and C, then A multiply B minus C is equal to A multiply B minus A multiply C. For that I have taken three numbers. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 8 and C is equal to 3. So we will prove LHS, this side is LHS, this side is RHS. So LHS is equal to RHS, RHS or no. So first we will find A multiply B minus C. Find out the value of A multiply B minus C. A is equal to 5, B minus C multiply B minus C means 8 minus 3 is equal to 5b multiply 8 minus 3 means 5b into 5 is equal to 25. LHS is 25. Then we will check RHS. RHS A into B, 5 into 8, subtract A into C. A into C means 5 into 3. 40 minus 15 is equal to 25. Here LHS is 25, RHS also 25. So any three whole numbers A, B and C, then A multiply B minus C always equal to A multiply B whole minus A multiply C. So distributive property over subtraction satisfy in the multiplication, and the distributive property of multiplication over addition also satisfy in multiplication. Next we will know properties of division in whole number. First we will know closure property. For any two whole numbers A and B, then A divided B is not always a whole number. Now we will check. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3. So A divided by B, that means 5 divided by 3 is equal to 5 by 3, which is not a whole number. Next we will take another example. Suppose A is equal to 12, B is equal to 8. A divided by B, that means 12 divided by 8 is equal to 12 by 8, is not a whole number. Hence closure property is not applicable to division. Next we will know commutative property of division. For any two whole numbers A and B, so we will take two whole numbers. Suppose A is equal to 8, B is equal to 5. Then A divided by B, that means 8 divided by 5. We will check A divided by B and B divided by A. B divided by A means 5 divided by 8. 8 divided by is equal to 8 by 5 and B divided by A is equal to 5 by 8. So both are not same. So 8 by 5 is not equal to 5 by 8. So this means division of a whole number is not commutative. Next we will know associative property. For any three whole numbers A, B, C, then A divided by B whole divided by C is not equal to A divided by whole B divided by C. So for that we will take A, B, C. A is equal to 8, B is equal to 5, C is equal to suppose 4. Then we will check LHS is equal to RHS or not. So first we will find out the LHS. A divided by B divided by C. So 8 divided 5 and whole divided 6. C means 4. It will be 8 by 5 into 1 by 4 is equal to 8 by 20. Next, RHS is equal to A means 8 divided by B divided C means 5 divided 4 is equal to 8 divided 5 by 4 is equal to 80 multiply 4 by 5 and it will be 32 by 4. By 5. So LHS is not equal to RHS. Here LHS is 8 by 20 and RHS is equal to 32 by 5. So both are not same. So this means division of a whole number is not associative. So division of a closure property also not satisfied, and a commutative property also not satisfied, and associative property also not satisfied. Next we'll know division by 1. For any whole number, suppose A, then A divided by 1 always A or number itself. This means any whole number divided by 1 gives the quotient as the number itself. For that we will take some example. Suppose A is equal to 5. We will divide by 1. So 5 divided by 1 always 5 or number itself. If A is equal to 20, then 20 divided by 1 is equal to 20 or number itself. So any whole number we will take and we will divide it by 1, then result always number itself. Next we will know division by 0. So any whole number when we divide by 0, then what will happen? So to divide any whole number by 0 is not defined. Suppose 55 divided by 0 is not defined, and suppose any whole number 22 divided by 0 is not defined, means it is meaningless. Next we know 0 divided by any whole number. 0 divided by any whole number. For any whole number, suppose A not equal to 0, then 0 divided by any whole number always 0. So when we divide 0 by any whole number, suppose 5, always 0. We will take another example. 0 divided by 99 is equal to 0. 5 divided by 0 divided by 25 is equal to 0. So for any whole number A not equal to 0, then 0 divided by A always 0. If you like my video lecture, please like, share and subscribe my channel to get more videos. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.